Hey there, Miroslav. My name's Andrew, and I'm the essay corrector here at IELTSpodcast.com. Thank you for submitting this trial correction on international marketing. Each time a student submits a piece of work, I'm the one that tells you how well you responded to the task, how well structured your essay was. I suppose I'll also be providing some suggestions as to more academic and precise vocabulary to use, and also correcting the grammar in each of your sentences. Let's first have a look at how you responded to the question. So, international marketing is sometimes seen as invasive and intrusive, whereas others argue that it is necessary, as it is an economical form of education, spreading languages, ideas, and culture. So what did you conclude, first of all? So you believe that global marketing is beneficial. One thing I would say is in order to structure one of these essays properly, your introduction should be fairly simple. All your introduction needs to do is 3 things. Consider the question entirely, state your opinion if it's required, and briefly outline the ideas that you will use in your essay. What we seem to have done here is started with a body paragraph. Oh no, you do have, this is an introduction, it's just a bit long, that's all. I think it's things like the inclusion of examples in an intro is not really that necessary. This is a bit too specific. We should reserve our real-world examples for our discussions in our body paragraphs, where in formal academic writing in universities, in the body of our essay is where we are required to cite our sources. Each idea that we raise, we must show where we got it from. So this is what this essay task is requiring you to do, is to practice giving evidence for your opinions. To say, I believe this, and this is why. I have reason to believe this. My opinion is credible. So let's have a look. In recent decades, worldwide marketing has become one of the most effective tools. If it's one of a group, then it must be the plural tools. I would just say to share information and products. And then we've trimmed that down. It is considered by many that such aggressive marketing policies I would just say let's keep it simple. Are an intrusion into, we intrude into things, into local markets. This should be a semicolon. However, in an informal setting, should really only be used to start a sentence. If you're using it to break up a sentence in the middle, it's really more of an article style. It's quite informal. But as well, a semicolon can be used to separate 2 full sentences that are related. So when in the use of however at the start of a sentence, we are almost always beginning a sentence that is related to the previous sentence. So however at the start of a sentence can usually be used in this manner. However, others claim that this trend has a positive impact on the development of markets. In my mind's eye, although for some companies it will be hard to rival such giants, let's just say the giants of the international market. In my mind's eye, although for some companies it will be hard to rival the giants of the international market, this tendency has a positive impact on the development of local markets and marketing overall. Cool. To begin with, I'm not quite sure as to the meaning of this first sentence. native ventures. It should be native ventures have. But I don't know what you mean by formed an atmosphere. Oh, okay. Native ventures are often formed in the absence of larger competition. I'm just not sure how this follows. It's not very clear, that's all. Also, inextricably should be used with linked, to be unable to extricate something, that it is stuck. So this, I feel should be inevitably. But I can't quite grasp the meaning of this sentence to correct it properly. But this is largely because in the beginning of building local markets in some countries, the richest companies, I would say, have established their niches, and less successful ones, I would say that this is a bit informal, cannot gain a market share, and thus the market stagnates. So if this sentence is just an explanation of this sentence, then I'm guessing we need, upon the introduction of global competitors, and therefore the introduction of global competitors inevitably leads to a decrease in the quality of services and products. I'll continue correcting it. If I find some different meaning, then I'll go back to it. For example, in the Russian Federation in the early 90s, a host of companies appeared, but many of them were merged with larger competitors. Never use big, always use large or great or any other word, just don't use big. It's informal. A host of companies appeared, but many of them were merged with larger companies because they could not compete, and it was the only way to survive. The appearance of major international companies with aggressive marketing policies has shaken native markets, and the state of affairs has resultantly changed. So what we've done here is we've written an analysis of how something could be seen as invasive and intrusive, which is part of one question, because this is a discuss both sides and give your opinion question. So this is a discussion of one side, although it's not very clear. I do believe that you've discussed what happens to smaller companies when large companies appear and why that's bad. This paragraph is entirely underdeveloped. In the academic format, we are required to introduce an idea, expand it with the specifics, support it with a real-world example, and then explain how that answers the question. Here, we've used two sentences just to really brush over something. I would use this here, and I wouldn't say what native companies feel, because companies cannot feel. Native companies currently experience economic problems and an inability to survive without governmental help and subsidies. This is due to the global economic crisis, which has, this is an irregular verb, struck. The past tense of strike is struck. Lightning struck over there, which has struck all organisations, and the less successful could not afford to invest money in further development. So here we need additional information. We need an example that supports this, and we also need an explanation as to how this is related to the question. Taking everything into consideration, I want to emphasize that competition between local and global markets as well as the improvement of marketing methods is absolutely a positive change for improving the quality of products and therefore quality of life. I'm not quite sure what the function of this sentence is. Try to remember as well that each of your sentences should have a function. It should have a purpose. It should be trying to do something. So when we are constructing a body paragraph, we try to use 4 sentences for IELTS anyway. So we introduce the idea, we give a topic sentence, we then expand that idea with the specifics of our thoughts. We then tell the examiner where we got those thoughts from. Give a real-world example to show that your thinking is based on evidence. We then have to explain how our discussion answers the question that we were asked. So remember, discuss the question, give your opinion, outline the ideas you will use, fully discuss the ideas in 2 body paragraphs, each idea contained to 1 body paragraph, introduced, expanded, supported and explained, and then summarize it all in your conclusion. You tend to just need 2 sentences for that. But the structure and grammar of your essays should be your focus. But if you would like to continue receiving these sorts of corrections, you can subscribe to one of our courses online. The link to our courses is on this very page you're staring at right now. It comes with a total of 8 essay corrections done by me, over which time we sincerely hope to raise you to above a band 7. All the best, Miroslav. I do hope to be seeing some more of your work coming through soon, but until then, have a great day and goodbye for now.